Hello and welcome to our channel. The Middle East is on the brink as the United States and Israel have launched major military strikes against Iran, marking one of the most serious escalations in decades. On Saturday, February 28, 2026, explosions rocked Tehran and other Iranian cities in what President Donald Trump described as a massive and ongoing operation, dubbed Operation Epic Fury by the Pentagon. This joint U.S.-Israeli campaign targets Iran's nuclear facilities, ballistic missile programs, military infrastructure, and even senior leadership, including the compound of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Before and after images show severe damage to the Supreme Leader's residence, with black smoke rising and structures heavily impacted. Israeli sources confirmed strikes aimed at Khamenei himself. President Masoud Pezeshkian, Armed Forces Chief of Staff Saeed Abdurrahim Mousavi, and other top figures, though confirmation on casualties remains unclear, with Iran's foreign minister insisting key leaders are alive as far as I know. Trump, speaking in a video message posted to Truth Social, framed the attacks as essential to defend America by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime. He vowed to raze their missile industry to ground, annihilate their navy, and ensure Iran never obtains a nuclear weapon. In a direct appeal to Iranians, he urged them to take over your government once the strikes conclude. The hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. Trump warned American lives could be lost, signaling this is no limited operation, but a sustained campaign plan for several days. The strikes come after failed nuclear talks. Recent rounds in Geneva collapsed and follow Trump's pattern in his second term of decisive military action. Since January 2025, he's ordered strikes against ISIS in Somalia, Iraq, Nigeria, and Syria, Houthi rebels in Yemen, even Venezuela to capture Nicolas Maduro. Now, Iran faces the full weight of U.S. and Israeli firepower, with optimism in Israel that regime change could follow. Iran wasted no time retaliating. Tehran launched an unprecedented wave of ballistic missiles, drones, including Shahed models, and attacks across the region, targeting Israel and U.S. assets in the Gulf. Explosions lit up the skies over Israel, with air defenses intercepting most threats and only light injuries reported. 89 treated so far by Megan David Adam, including shrapnel wounds in Kaf Qasim and blast impacts elsewhere. Damage appeared in places like Petah Tikva and Rosh Hain, but no major casualties. The retaliation spread far wider. U.S. military bases across the Middle East came under fire. In Bahrain, a missile struck the U.S. Fifth Fleet headquarters. Qatar's Al Udeid Air Base, the largest American installation in the region, saw explosions. Kuwait's Ali Al Salem Base, UAE's Al Dhafar Air Base, and sites in Jordan face attacks. Dramatic video from Dubai captured a Shahed drone plunging steeply between high rises near the Fairmont Hotel on Palm Jumeirah, detonating in a fireball amid luxury apartments and restaurants. Witnesses described it banking sharply before impact. One thought it was a bird falling from the sky. UAE authorities reported interceptions of ballistic missiles, with smoke rising over Abu Dhabi and at least one death from debris. This marks virtually unprecedented strikes on Gulf cities, wealthy hubs like Dubai, Doha, Manama, and Abu Dhabi during Ramadan, with blasts interrupting calls to prayer. Air raid sirens wailed. Flights halted across UAE and Qatar airports, and residents sheltered in parking lots or homes. Arab nations condemned Iran's actions as breaches of sovereignty, while the UAE called it a historic moment, blaming global leaders for failing to stabilize the region. Inside Iran, chaos reigns. Tehran streets fell quiet after initial panic, with distant explosions echoing from northern neighborhoods like Tajrish. People shouted death to the dictator from windows amid traffic jams as residents fled home. A near-total internet blackout hit. NetBlocks reports national connectivity at just 4% of normal levels, matching shutdowns during last year's Israel conflict. This regime-imposed measure limits information flow, building on prior restrictions after protests and crackdowns. U.S. intelligence assesses that if Supreme Leader Khamenei is removed, the hardline Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, would likely fill any short-term void, though uncertainty lingers after the 2020 assassination of Qasem Soleimani disrupted their hierarchy. Secretary of State Marco Rubio briefed congressional leaders beforehand, reaching 7 of the Gang of 8, with full House and Senate briefings planned this week. Critics decry the strikes as unauthorized war, risking prolonged conflict without congressional approval. Globally, reactions vary. Some U.S. allies express deep concern. Arab states like Saudi Arabia voice solidarity with Gulf victims while urging restraint. Oil markets brace for turmoil. Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz, through which much global crude flows, and holds the world's third-largest reserves. Brent crude already climbed to $72.87, and WTI to $67.02 pre-strikes. Experts warn of $5 to $10 spikes when futures open Sunday evening, or $10 to $20 plus if escalation closes the strait or hits Saudi infrastructure. Tanker traffic reportedly paused, raising fears of supply disruptions and U.S. gas price surges, counter to Trump's energy promises. As another wave of Israeli strikes hits central Iran, targeting missile launchers and defenses, the risk of broader war looms. Iran vows continued response until enemies are defeated, while Trump pushes regime change. The region and world watches anxiously, diplomacy or deeper conflict. What are your thoughts on this rapid escalation? Could it lead to regime change or wider war? Drop comments below. Like if this update kept you informed. Subscribe for real-time breakdowns on global crises and hit the bell. Stay safe, stay aware. Thanks for watching. We'll bring more as this develops. See you next time.